Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this third President's Message. In this message, I have a very important announcement I'd like to make. But before I do, let us begin with some context. Now that the Scenario Planning Task Force has released its report, the college's top administrators have taken from that report what they believe to be its best elements and formed the Administrative Committee's recommendation to the Board of Trustees. This is in accordance with what President Schitt said would happen at the beginning of this process. This AC recommendation was released to the campus yesterday via email. I recommend that all of you read it. It's only 8 pages. It is now the most important document in this process, as the trustees will be asked to vote on it, not scenario A, B, or C. Among other things, the AC endorses the idea of moving to a 12-to-1 faculty ratio. It proposes going up to 1,600 students by the year 2012, as many as 1,800 students by the year 2013. And it also supports exploring ideas such as Berea Corps, adding master's programs, and combining the budgets of the various centers while maintaining their unique distinctiveness. Further, it proposes a Center for Experiential Learning, which would combine service learning, internships, and career development. Now, throughout this process, I have labored, even agonized, admittedly with some frustration, to find ways to facilitate student voice in this process in ways which are constructive and valuable. I do not believe that this process so far has been particularly constructive. I am disappointed, but not entirely surprised, that the conversation in student, staff, and faculty settings has so far generated more heat than light. Further, I have become convinced that this process of having groups work behind closed doors to prepare reports and present them to the community for, quote, feedback is not a model which is conducive for producing participation and partnership. Rather, it invites emotion-filled speeches and reactionary rhetoric, and we've certainly seen a lot of that. And while that has been useful for acting as the much-needed cathartic experience which I think our community needs, it is now time to put aside speech-making, rhetoric, and emotion. It is now time for everyone to roll up our sleeves and engage the material and contribute constructively to this process. We need a truly community-wide decision-making process. Now, this confers a responsibility on all of us to adopt the appropriate attitude, but it also confers a responsibility on this administration to adapt a process which invites participation in such a way that more nearly resembles engaged partnership rather than dictates coming from on high. So here's my announcement. We're going to hold an open forum on Sunday, November the 22nd in Phelps Stokes to improve on the AC's document. This will be an SGA forum, and convocation credit will be offered. President Schitt, Dean Browder, and other AC members will be on hand to answer questions, but we in SGA will be directing the program. The meeting will be structured and orderly, and we're going to project the AC's document up on the screen and proceed through it systematically and methodically. This is going to be a working meeting. Come with your ideas. Start thinking about your ideas now. Email them to us at sga@berea.edu. Be on the lookout for further details in the meantime, further explaining this process. And for now, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you on November the 22nd.